I had an understanding of what I was getting myself into. I had an understanding that we're making a TV show, and I can separate the two of making a good TV show and still finding my person and finding love. They aren't mutually exclusive, right? So you can do it. And for me, I wasn't willing to sacrifice a relationship and a love just to go along with a format. In that moment, in the moment I took off my microphone, I was done with being the Bachelor. And we had some conversations, and it was a long night. There wasn't a lot of sleep. Everybody was trying to figure out where do we go from here. But it was a moment where I realized hey, it's over. I don't know how you're gonna wrap this up. I don't know how you're gonna end this, but tonight I've made up my mind. I don't want to continue without her. I think where my frustrations came in that specific situation was, the time factor, realizing we needed more of it, and unfortunately we just weren't getting there, and I was more frustrated where our relationship was at and where it was stalling, and sort of feeling her out of realizing, hey, she hasn't had the time she needed, I haven't had the time I needed, but now she's leaving. So it was more of a frustration of we didn't get it.
Yeah.
But once again, we had a conversation, we troubleshot it and came back, and then we're here now. That's all that matters, and that's what I told them too. I was as frustrated and as upset as I was in that moment, and as heated as I was, you guys allowed me the opportunity to meet somebody who I call my best friend and that I'm madly in love with.
I have not dated a virgin since I was 12.
The whole topic on Colton's virginity kind of got a little out of hand. But I think Colton's handled it really well, and I support him being open and honest about that. That's one of the things I love the most about him, is how honest he is, and so himself. But yeah, we've decided just to kind of shut that door and not discuss it. It's really weird having the entire world talk about your sex life. So
I don't know what card you were thinking, but I think I just took your B card.
You got it. It was a good conversation that we were having. She's like, you've been very open, you've been very candid, and you gave them a little and they've taken a lot. They took and ran with it and overplayed it and did this. So, it's your right to take it back whenever you want. Have control of it. And I don't ever regret it. Do I think it was exploited? No, because I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me and said, hey, thanks for talking about this. Thanks for opening up about it, because you've allowed me to be confident in who I am and the decisions that I'm making in my life. From some of the most, I would have never guessed these people would be reaching out to me to talk about this. And for me, I'm willing to be a voice. I'm willing to stand out. I'm willing to take some criticism if I'm helping anybody. So I don't think it was exploited in a negative way. Do I think it was overplayed? Yes.
Could Colton lose his virginity in Singapore? Maybe.
I feel like with a girl, it probably wouldn't have been
I could
talked
tell
about
you,
as much, honestly.
If it was a girl, it wouldn't have been as in your face. I would definitely say that.
Or maybe the jokes wouldn't have been as
But
extreme.
I grew up also I grew up as an athlete. I grew up with a locker room banter. I consider myself to have thick skin. I can play along with the joke, and I could go along with it.
You do.
So I could take it. And I think they sort of read that. They, and as in the show, would have never put me in an uncomfortable position. They knew right off the bat, even with the pop in the cherry and all that they never took it too far.
My name's Caitlin.
Caitlin, Colton, nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you. This is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Now that I've popped your cherry.
I think everybody has their own way of how they handle the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. I was willing to throw the whole entire show and being the Bachelor to the side for Cassie and for our relationship, and to do what was best and do what was right. At times you sort of get caught in this groove of doing and sort of going through the motions of what the Bachelor's supposed to do, right? In previous seasons, the Bachelor's just supposed to fall back on his plan B. And this is my life, and this is somebody who I fell in love with and that I cared for deeply, and I wasn't willing to let that walk away without seeing if we can make it work without the cameras and everything going on. I was very grateful, very humbled by being named the Bachelor, and you're put in a unique position that no one's ever been put in before, so you try to keep your options open for as long as you can. And fortunately for me, I couldn't keep my options open any longer. She had my heart.
I didn't realize coming into being on The Bachelor, how little time you're actually going to get and like how it works. You have no idea until you're in it. And I mean, you see couples come out of it happily engaged. And so I was like, oh, it must be possible. But for me, I guess it just,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get there in time. Not meaning we won't ever get there, because we'll get there. But
The ring isn't a safe spot. We have, you know, some conversations that we're going to have, and we still have a few steps before we get there. You know, we have been talking about it. You know, we're very confident in where our relationship is now, but we're enjoying dating. We're enjoying taking this, you know, day by day still, just like you saw when we left the show. I mean, we're having fun, we're in love, and we can't wait to continue to push our relationship.